You have to be, excuse me, selfish to be good to others. It sounds counterintuitive, but let's walk through it. It's a very nuanced point, but if you think through it, it starts making a lot of sense. First of all, when you aren't thinking of yourself, you're obviously thinking about others, but that's not always in a positive sense, because you'll be thinking about what others think about you. And then because we are social creatures, when we're thinking about how does X, Y, and Z, what would they think if I said this? You aren't truly being yourself. And then you deprive the world of your unique perspective because no one else has walked the path that you have walked. It's just you. So if you're always selfless and you're like, I want to consider other people's feelings, I want to make other people comfortable, you put yourself into a small little box. You snip your wings so that you can't fly. I would argue that it's better to truly be yourself 110% of the time, even though it might make some people uncomfortable. But for the people who would engage with you and the people who would actually connect with what you are saying, it is the ultimate breath of fresh air. It is something new that you have put into the world that no one else could possibly do because you're the only person who lives your life. So whatever you have to say from a true and honest perspective, something where you're like, this is only something that I can contribute. It's of absolute value. It's not a little bit of, it's absolute value. But you have to be a little bit selfish because nobody cares about you in the way that you think. Nobody is stopping their day to be like, oh, this person said this. If you're on the internet, you've probably done some doom scrolling. You've been on one of these apps where you just flick it up and then you get to the next video. Flick it up, get to the next video. One time I want you to just do a small little experiment for yourself. Scroll through 5 or 6 videos and then think back. What was the first video that I saw? Obviously, like if you're thinking about it, you might remember. But oftentimes when I'm just scrolling through and I just stop myself and I'm like, I've been doom scrolling for like 30 minutes now. And then I think back, what did I see 3 videos before? I can't remember. So that person could have said anything at all that they wanted, but I don't remember it because I am not thinking about that person. In the moment, if I actually like that video or I comment on it, whatever, they get that validation. But that validation for them, they'll be thinking, oh, these people are thinking about me all the time. But not really. After I liked and commented, I moved on to the next thing. That's how people look at you. And that's why it's very advantageous to be able to do and say what you want. Think 150 years from now, you'll literally be dust. This is true for every single person listening to this. You will be dust and bones. You know, you might, if they buried you with a suit, you might be dust bones in the jacket. But ultimately, it's not going to matter. And that is the superpower. Because you could do, it's 2 choices. One, it doesn't matter, so I don't care, or it doesn't matter, so I can care about it exactly how much I want to care about it. And then at that point, you are super free. And then you stop thinking about all the metrics to judge yourself by how other people are looking at you. You have to have X amount of money. You have to own property. You have to have this many followers. You have to look a certain type of way. You have to blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on. But we are hardwired because we are social creatures. For our survival, for the longest time, being a part of the group and not being selfish was a way to survive. It's just a word that gets a bad rep. You're selfish because you don't want to share. If anything, being selfish, you share things that are more important to you. And then it becomes a breeding ground, like a petri dish, for your ideas to be able to infect the world. I actually like that, as in you are infecting the world. If you come through and you are this little bacteria that's doing its own thing, that's when the body gets sick. But if you are like any other virus, the immune system knows how to handle you and you aren't special. This is, it flips it on its head, right? No, we don't want to be sick or whatever. That's where most of these terms come from. I made a viral video. Why is it viral? Because the immune system doesn't know how to handle you. It's something new. And you have to be selfish. You have to be in your own lane to be able to infect the body that is society with you. It could be like the worst analogy that I've ever given, but I like it. And it's my little idea. And no one can ever take that away from me. This is the point of what I'm trying to say.